on this, if you go back and you look at this, there was a child that was born out of wedlock, and the question was, 1, 2, 3, can this child actually rise to the throne?
He wasn't recognized by his dad.
What's that?
He wasn't recognized by his dad.
He wasn't? 5.
He was recognized by the dad, but he was not
Raised
by him because it put out the question whether he was legitimate to rule the country.
Yeah.
Whether he was born out of wedlock.
Yeah, what did the father actually do?
He
5.
He's money.
What?
He's in a lot of money.
Yeah, the father actually paid and provided for the child. What is the issue as far as this actually being allowed, this child being allowed to rule?
He wasn't raised to be a ruler. He was raised.
That's really the issue. 5. 4. Real obvious thing. 3.
He wasn't raised.
2.
Didn't have the same name as him?
Didn't have the same name. -3. 1, 2, 3. Go, Matt.
So in 2002, the father of the prince amended the Constitution to make Caroline the heir, and then if she had a son, he would take the throne if the prince didn't have a son. Okay,
So what did the Constitution say before?
That it had to be a son, like that's how the...
This is the thing on this, and 1, 2, 3, you're right. The Constitution specifically said that it could not work this way. They amended it so, and there's some question about whether the prince was actually going to have a male heir, a son, or even any child. They did amend it, just like you said, 1, 2, 3, in fact, so that now the king can go forward. They can continue the royal situation. Anything else you want to tell me? 5.
The mom was from Togo.
Is that really what you want to tell me? 4, 3.
He still hasn't married. He doesn't have.
Yeah, I think actually he did marry. -3. Yeah, don't tell me things. In fact, that he did actually marry. Go.
The concern was that the child wasn't of royal blood. He wasn't born from Moroccan blood. He was half Moroccan and half South African, wherever the woman was from.
Yeah, I guess. I guess I'll give you a couple of points on that so you're positive. Okay, if you want to do it, I'm losing interest in this question.
I was going to say, another problem was that since he
Do
wasn't...
you have something else to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
You just stole it from him.
Gotta go. 5.
I was gonna say that,
Losing
the
interest.
power,
4.
if he doesn't give, what if the son doesn't want to have the power to be the monarch or the ruler of that country? Maybe he wants to be something else in life. So that was like the controversial part. Like, what if the son doesn't want
-3. Go ahead if you want this. I've lost interest.
one of the problems was that he wasn't raised in that country. So he doesn't know...
That's been said. -3. I've lost interest in this question. Touch the house. Who gave me the last correct answer? It was the Blaze group. Gotta go.
Constitution for 4.
Constitution's for 4. Click it, Alex. Africa. Y'all have it first. You'll have it next. You've got it third. But Africa. 5, 4, 3, 2. Go ahead.
They wanted to pay the rulers to not. Oh wait, that's executives. Never mind.
It's still Africa.
Okay.
5.
They wanted to pay the rulers to gain power and not use it.
They want to pay the rulers to gain power and not use it.
No, they
Zoom
weren't.
in. Get close.
They were going to pay the rulers $5 million. It was the executive of the phone company in Africa.
What was the name of this prize? 5. Anybody in the group? 4. What was the name of the prize?
Can we give other information?
No. 3.
besides-
What's the name of the
It
prize?
says list all we can, though.
Who was the person that this is named after that created it?
Which company? It was like not the government.
2.
What was the president's name?
Technology.
1. Go, ma'am. Mo Ibrahim, yes! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mo Ibrahim actually created this, and he wanted a good governance prize, $5 million to leaders. What did they need to demonstrate in order to collect the prize? Y'all have it, I think. You have it next. Go.
Legitimately elected, and then they had to leave the office when it was time. Like,
Maybe the most important thing was that they had to leave the office when it was time. What else? 5. Be specific.
they
4.
gotta do stuff like positive things.
Do stuff.
Like transparency and corruption.
Transparency is a good one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. People had to see what they were doing. Go.
That's the whole point.
Rule of law. What do you mean?
Like everybody has to follow.
3, 2, 1, go! Your group's got it. I'm losing patience.
One out of 4 years, they actually gave the money, and out of all the people that they actually have tried, not everyone has left office when they had to leave. So that was a big issue.
Yeah, no, we've got all that, and you're right. They have not been actually giving this out. But let me go back to the original factors. What is it that you had to do in order to earn the award? We've got transparency. We've got leave office on time.
You had to make the economy go up. You had to build.
You did have to have economic development and growth.
Yeah.
Go.
You had to think of new ideas for Africa and make it a safer.
For Africa.
Make it a safer.
Oh! Who's next? There's only one hand in the air, I guess. Go.
Okay, so it was security and safety, rule of law.
Security and safety is one of them. Night people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay,
Go.
it was rule of law, as in they will respect and not be above the law as a leader.
Okay, we had rule of law already.
Transparency and corruption, public participation and opposition.
Public participation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and human rights. You're not going to beat up your opponent. Anything else?
Sustainable economic development.
Okay, we've already had that.
Human development and education, so poverty.
Education, I'll give you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the key thing on this is nobody is actually winning it. Go ahead, touch the house. And remember, if you want bonus points, I need an answer. And it's going to be on film, so I'm going to know. Pick me a category. Go.
Articles for 4.
Articles for 4. Dictionary. I need somebody to draw.
I guess I'll draw.
If you'll turn on the light over there, Alex. And this is articles for 4? Okay. Can't say anything, can't use any words. That's what I need you to draw. Draw it right over there.
Do you already have it written on your hand?
No. 1 minute, starting on the 10.
A boot? No. No, it's not a boot.
40 seconds.
You're not drawing anymore.
30 seconds. You gotta finish. Oh, I gotta finish. Yeah, you got 30 seconds. 20 seconds.
Keep trying.
25 seconds. It started on the 10.
That's the best I can do.
The group that has control has got to guess.
What?
Oh, he's got his hand up. So he got
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do you have a guess? I guess not. You have a guess?
Yeah, so it's about equal treatment for the prisoners when they're in there and they have their wheelchair in prison. Is that what it's supposed to be? What?
That's a really good answer, but no, it's not. Minus 5. Anybody else? He was drawing bathroom.
That was the best.
He was drawing bathroom. What is the significance of somebody getting home improvements based upon the time that we've discussed? You've got it first. Go. Alex, who's got it second? And you need to watch the people. Judge Keller, go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Judge Keller was taken to court because she didn't stay past 5 o'clock, or she wasn't on. She was on call, but she didn't help them when the Supreme Court said that no more executions were supposed to.
The Supreme Court said 1, 2, 3, 4 that in fact there were going to be no more executions allowed. What did it violate? 5.
Cruel and unusual punishment.
Cruel and unusual punishment. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me more. So they made this announcement, and what was happening where?
They made this announcement at some point in the afternoonish, and that evening a man was scheduled to be executed
Where?
in Texas.
Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me more.
So they went through the paperwork. They couldn't get it to her before 5 o'clock to stay his execution.
And what did they ask?
They asked to stay his execution based on what the Supreme Court.
That's what they asked. They asked to stay his execution because they couldn't get the paperwork there before 5. 5.
They asked for to stay open late. To stay late.
They actually asked for it to stay open late. 1, 2, 3, 4, so that they could in fact get the paperwork there to stay the execution. And
she didn't. She went home for home improvement.
Home repairs. In fact, getting a bathroom done. What was the result of all this?
He was executed.
He was executed. Do you know his name? 5, 4, 3,
Richard.
2.
Oh, yes.
Richard. No.
It was Richard. 1, 2, 3, 4. Michael Richard. Yes, it was. Go.
So he was executed. She was taken to court for
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who's who's next? Blaze. Why was he taken to court? Why was she taken to court? What was the deal?
We don't want negative points. It was for an earlier question.
Who's next? Go, Josel.
Oh.
What did they try and do to her? 5.
They
They
4.
Try to impeach her.
What's that?
They try to impeach
They
her.
wanted to get her off. They wanted to get her.
1, 2, 3, 4. And it didn't work.
They tried to get her off the bench for refusing to stay of execution, and it didn't work.
And it didn't work. She was actually cleared. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I mentioned to you, they do more executions in Texas than anywhere. Make sure that you look at the link on this. Do you have anything else you want to say? That's a hint. Dog.
What did he say?
4,
The
3.
special prosecutor alleged it was an ethical breach, but she didn't. They didn't win.
They didn't win. I think we've already got it. Who's next?
There's not much to talk about.
Okay.
So basically, a year later, it was still okay. It was
That's a good point. What was still okay?
to execute. So
It
either way,
was. The Supreme Court upheld that it was not a violation of cruel and unusual punishment, which furthered the fact that she wasn't going to get in trouble. Do you have anything else?
either way, he would have been executed a year later. Just would have suspended it.
Yeah, actually, either way, he really would have been. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anything else? Okay, y'all are already out. Y'all are already out. Y'all aren't out yet.
Yeah, so basically also to some extent it justifies what she did because she has like more of a responsibility to her state. And her state is like Texas supports executions.
Zoom in on him right now.
Yeah.
Are you buying this?
So no, Texas supports
Are you buying this?
executions.
Are y'all buying this? Is anybody buying this? Okay, I guess they want you to get points. I asked.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. I would have taken them away. You gave me the last correct answer. Turn off the light, click the board, and pick me one. Y'all are in. You're ahead of Blaze. Go.
Let's do legislative for 3.
Legislative for 3. Separation of power, fusion of power. First hand I see. You guys have it.
So the separation of power is, like for example, executive,
You got it next.
judicial in America. And there's like checks and balances between the different branches of government, and power is separated amongst them, so not one group gets like more powerful than the other.
What are these 3 branches that we're talking about?
Legislative, executive, judicial.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, powers. Separation of powers is divided between the legislative, the executive, and the judicial. And in fact, 1, 2, 3, not one of them has more than the others. They're supposed to be equally divided. What is fusion of power? 5, 4, 3.
It's where the executive and legislative branch are kind of like fused together.
What does that mean? You're right, but what does it mean?
They work together, and then
They work together.
Yeah, they work together more.
They work together more.
Because in separation of powers, they have their own separate responsibilities, but in the parliamentary.
Y'all buying this?
No.
No.
Gets rid of
Who's
the
next?
deadlock.
Ma'am.
Fusion of powers that you can hold 2 offices at the same time.
In what
Parliamentary
system?
system.
In a parliamentary system, in fact, and you are the West Virginia people. 1, 2, 3. You can actually hold 2 offices at the same time. Can you tell me a little bit more about this?
I was going to say like an example is like the Prime Minister is chosen by and is also a member of the House of Commons.
The Prime Minister is, in fact, also a member of the Parliament and is chosen by the Parliament. A real good way of saying this is that if you want to be an executive or a member of the courts, you gotta be a member of the Parliament first. Anything else? 5, 4, 3, 2, go!
So fusion of power, one of the problems it creates is that because Congress and the president are codependent, there are situations where they can draw into a stalemate. For example, either of them want to pass a law. Right now, we have a Democratic president. We just elected a Republican Congress.
Yeah.
So if the president wanted to pass a law, Congress is most likely going to shoot it down because the majority party is Republican.
And this has to do with fusion of power.
Does it not? I think this is one of the problems with the fusion of power system we have.
This is where a problem is with separation of power, not with fusion of power. -3.
What?
Yeah, separation of power, not fusion.
Bring that
Pick the category. You gave me the last correct answer, Matt.
Oh, I mean, I'm trying to, okay, so we gonna do articles for 3.
Articles for 3. Click it. Age, wealth, and race. You've got it. Actually, no, they've got it. You've got it, and then you. Go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You guys have it, right?
So yeah, the article was about how in the U.S. Congress and the Senate especially, and
The Senate especially, yes!
feel represented. Yeah, the people don't feel represented because, like, what the demographics of the Senate, age, wealth, and race-wise, doesn't represent the country as a whole.
So what did they want to do?
So
1, 2, 3.
So they were putting up different solutions to this. One of it was doing it by age, where like 18 to 24 would get like proportional number of seats to the population.
Yeah, they were talking about this. 1, 2, 3. They wanted to set it up by age.
Yeah.
So 18 to 24 or over a certain age. Right now in the Senate, what is the vast bulk of the representation in the Senate?
They're older, like 60s.
Why are you looking at me?
Don't be defensive. Yeah, they're actually really, really old in the Senate. 1, 2, 3. Anything else?
They're also really, really rich. There's a lot of millionaires. It's called like the Millionaire Club.
1, 2, 3. It is called the Millionaires Club. Disproportionate amount of millionaires in the Senate, so they wanted to set it up based on wealth, right?
Yeah.
How do they want to do that?
So they want to do it by how much you make. So like the majority of Americans make around like $40,000, $50,000 according to the article. So that's where the majority of the seats. Like there'd be seats depending on okay, this number of people make this much of money. So
This
based on
number of
that-
people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So based on that, they get like that percentage of the seats from the Senate.
So instead of it being disproportionately wealthy, you're going to make it proportional based on how much people earn. Is there a benefit or a problem with that?
Oh, the problem with that would be there'd be like, for example, people who are on, I guess, welfare and who are not doing as well. Sure, some of them could help that situation for others, but then
Yes.
maybe some of them are there because of their own like inability. So then you'd be electing them for Senate.
And as soon as you get into Senate, you get out of that tax bracket. because
You
it's
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. That's really the big gripe on this. As soon as you get to the Senate, you're going to be making more than what you would have made before, which defeats the purpose of putting you there. Anything as far as race is concerned.
They want it done by demographics, so if they did that, there would be 37 white women in office.
Yeah, that's right. And
36 white men.
And there'd be 51 women to 49 men in total too. So.
I believe the article at that time said that in one Senate there would be more women than had been elected in the entire history of the country combined. And again, by race, a lot of you seemed okay with this to a certain degree, race and gender, but not necessarily. Wealth creates its own problems. Age creates its own problems because it's against the law for people that would be 18 to 35 or 34 anyway. No, I'm sorry, 18 to 29 to actually be in the Senate anyway. So all of these solutions actually created bigger problems. Anything else? 5, 4.
Also, you don't want to elect an 18-year-old to Congress to represent you if you did it, or to Senate to represent you if you did it by age.
Might be great in Congress. I don't know what you're talking about.
Because of their like inexperience.
Inexperience is something that has come up. Anything else? 3. And I'm losing interest. 2, 1. Who had it next? Okay, I guess they do.
Also, but at the same time, a 60-year-old white man doesn't remember like how it was in college, so they wouldn't be able to comprehend the struggles of a student who's going through like
That would actually be the reason why you would want to change it, because if they're too wealthy or they're too old or they're too race or gender specific, they're not going to be able to represent us. I'll give you that. Touch the house. Pick me a category, Night Squad. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 48. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 39. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 48. 4. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 33. It's very close for 15 points. Go.
Articles for 5.
Articles for 5. Click it. Korematsu versus, I believe y'all have it first. You're going to have it next. Go. 5, 4, 3. You got it. 2.
So this was a case when it was in 1944 where it was a soldier, Korematsu, who tried to participate in World War II, but the fact that they denied him because he was Japanese.
They denied him because he was Japanese.
Yeah, so
-5. You guys have it. Who's next?
Japanese American.
They denied him because he had a heart condition.
They denied it because he had a heart condition. Yeah, it was medical reasons. Tell me more.
Otherwise, he was completely accepted to be part of the U.S.
He was
Army.
completely accepted to go, but he had a heart condition and he was denied. Why was he suing though? He wasn't suing because of that.
Because when they moved all the Japanese to the camps, he was forced to go too.
He was forced to move
And he
to
didn't
the
understand
camps.
why, if he could serve in the army and die for his United States country, why he had to be moved.
Yeah, that's a really good statement. I'll go with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything else?
So he sued, and they didn't even get to it until after the war is over.
Well, it's 1944 minus 5.
He
Who's
lost it.
next?
He did lose the case.
Who's next? Go math.
In a 6-3 decision, the Supreme Court sided with the government, saying that it was constitutional.
A little bit louder.
And that during the time of war,
Still really a little bit louder.
During time of war, the need to protect against espionage outweighed the individual rights of Americans.
Yeah, they actually did say this, and this is West Virginia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They did say that